Well, hey, is it time for a German beer? I think that it is. Welcome back to RGR Craft. I'm going to do another beer review today, and we'll move on to other topics about brewing and whatnot here coming up. But this is a style that I think goes underlooked a lot in craft beer, and it's starting to make a little bit of a comeback. It's getting tweaked. Different breweries around the country are doing some interesting things, and it's one that I think if you don't know Kolsch yet, it's worth checking out. Now, today we're going to be talking about New Belgium's new version of a Kolsch on passion fruit. Passion fruit isn't a very common fruit that you see fermented with. It looks like it's an additive afterwards, according to the website, and it's a very interesting take on it. It's real subtle in terms of the way that it uses the fruit, and it's still kind of paying homage to what the Kolsch is. Kolsch is one of my favorite styles, particularly of all the German styles. And as a home brewer, it really connects in because it's one of the few that isn't in need of lagering. You can run it at ale temperatures and let it ferment out there, and you don't need the refrigeration aspect of it. And I think that's really helpful if you're trying to get into home brewing as well as drinking a German style that's really approachable. I think this one's great. It's got a little bit of tang to it. It's got a little bit more robust than a Pilsner or even a Helles, which we'll talk about that. I'm sure we'll get some on the show here pretty soon. But it's a version of this that New Belgium is doing out of Colorado. I believe it's brewed in both that and Nashville. So it should be available around the country. So check that out if you want to give Kolsch a shot. And why don't we get to trying it? Now I moved the mic a little bit because this is my favorite part. Oh yeah. And that's a nice sound, right? And it comes through as you pour it a little bit lighter than we saw last time with the summer ale from Fremont. But this comes in a nice pale straw color. Gives you that same look that you might get from a Pilsner or something lagerish that may make you feel like the summer is starting to wane. Give you that relaxation a little bit and a nice fluffy white head on it as well. And that really opens up the aromas. And I do enjoy that as well, but it's all about the taste for a Kolsch for me. The aromas are nice and crisp and clean. And this particular one from New Belgium, again, has some passion fruit aspect to it. And that's an interesting twist on an old style. You do get a little bit on the nose there, but it's not overpowering. Again, it's a nice subtle addition that I think really works for what they're trying to do in bringing a German style forward into folks that maybe who haven't tried it before. So when you get it actually roaming around, that cleanness really comes through. And just a slight fruit edge on the backside almost brightens it enough that it doesn't feel quite as tart or that slight tang that you get from a Kolsch on most formulations. Again, another simple Pilsner-based recipe. We'll talk about recipes here coming up as the channel gets going, but this is a beer that I really liked, especially you can hold this one a little bit longer. I drink Kolsch. I make a Kolsch, kind of an imperial Kolsch for Thanksgiving every year. Unlike the summer ale, this has a more clean, specific, and just straightforward taste to it. And I can carry that through the fall. I do often drink this through the fall and on into approaching Thanksgiving. I usually take a little bit of break because of Oktoberfest and everything there, but I like to come back to it at Thanksgiving in a little bit beefier recipe, and we'll talk about that when we get closer to that. And I'll probably just share my recipe with you guys and see if there are any brewers out there that want to try it. So, good start. I'm sure I'll do more Kolsches on this show. But this is one that's available right now across the country, and you can go grab it. Cheers to New Belgium for putting a little bit of their own twist on it. I think they're still a brewery that is making some headway in terms of the things that they do that are a little bit out of the ordinary without really destroying classic styles. And if you haven't been to a brewery tour or been to Colorado to get to the brewery, I'll have a review of one of my tours here, probably coming. There's a lot of footage for that I'll have to stitch together, but I'll have that for you eventually too. Let me know, do you guys like Kolsch? Is it a flavor, a style that you enjoy that you already taste, or is it something new for you? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you get subscribed so you see more episodes as they come out. I'm doing about one a week at this point, as well as the football stuff. So I hope that you guys are enjoying these so far. Let me know what you think of all of it, and I appreciate your time, and I'll talk to you next time.